Hello again, it's Lock Noob, and I really want to do a review today on a piece of kit that people keep asking me questions about, and something which you've probably seen on a number of different YouTube channels dedicated to lockpicking and lock sport, even if you didn't realise that it was actually this kit. This is the HUK lockpick repinning kit. What's it used for? Well, you can probably tell from some of the pictures across here that it's designed for taking apart locks, namely things like these Euro cylinders, by taking off the circlips at the back, being able to remove the core and then retain the pins in the Bible, and then it just allows you to take these completely apart, repin them if you want, clean them if you want, just inspect them and put them back together if that's what you want to do. I know lots of hobbyists out there just like to see what's inside of these things. Lots of pickers on YouTube channels like to gut the locks that they've just picked to show you exactly what kind of challenges that they were up against while they were picking the locks. So these kits have a lot of uses, not just for your locksmith who might actually want to take apart a lock for reasons of repinning them and rekeying them. So what do you actually get in the kit? So the first part of the review will just show you very quickly what do we actually get in the kit, and then the second part will take apart well, this particular Euro cylinder just to show you how some of these items work. First thing to say is, and bear this in mind as we go through the review, this costs about £20. I've seen it as high as £30, I've seen it lower than 20, about £18, depends where you buy them and which outlet. I know there's a number of outlets on the internet which deal kind of almost exclusively with stuff from China, and this is Chinese, and they're often quite cheap. But I know a lot of picking and locksmithing sites also sell this kit, so have a look around for it. So what do you get inside it? Well, if I just support it up there, I'll try and lay everything out in front of me. You get a really nice pair, I say really nice, serviceable at least, a pair of long nose pliers, useful for lots of things, but I like to you know, pull out tricky C-clips or E-clips or circlips with it and push them back in when I need to, so put that there. We get some pinning tweezers designed for picking up pins. They're obviously quite long-nosed, or got long pincers on them, and that's because if you imagine I'm going in here through the body to repin these pins at the back, the prongs need to be quite long to get there. This lock actually shows it's got slightly deeper pinning, so you can see how far I have to go in here. So these long pronged pinning tweezers are very useful. Okay. What else do we have? We have some little core holders, so when you remove the core from the lock, it's always good to be able to leave it somewhere where the pins don't fall out. And I've got two different sizes. This is the size for standard oval and Euro cylinder cores, and this is for smaller cores that you might find in repinnable padlocks. Let's put those up there. You have a pinning shoe. This, and I'll demonstrate how this works in a minute, but this essentially holds the driver pins and springs inside the Bible when you remove the core from the lock. So it's spring loaded, and it's quite nice. I quite like this one. So what else do we have? We have some followers, again different sizes, designed for two different lock types. This obviously is a follower designed for cores of the same size, as you can see, because it fits inside that holder for lock cores that size, and these are both the same size, but one's hollow and one's solid. A hollow follower is quite useful, and I'll show you how that works to basically push the core out, follow the core out, so that you retain the pins in the Bible, and then you can slowly retract it or move it in and out to actually pick out those pins in the Bible one at a time. This one with a groove does the same kind of thing, but it allows you to push a core out, slide the shoe in, and then completely remove the follower. and still retain all the pins inside the core, and I hopefully will be able to show you that as well. Okay, what else do we have? So got some core holders, a pinning shoe, some core followers, some other tweezers and pliers. We also have these little spacer shim things. They might have another purpose than what I think they're used for, but you get 3 of them. They're about 1 centimetre or 10 mils in height, and I think it's so that, I probably won't demonstrate it in this video because I want to keep things short, but if you remove the cam by removing the circlips in between here, you can use these by pushing them these into the space between the 2 sides of the lock and pushing them up into the lock body once at a time to essentially shim and follow that core out. Shim probably isn't the right word, but I think you get what I'm trying to say. So you put one in at a time, push it up, put another one in, push it up, put another one in, push it up. Then you can probably work backwards by pushing the core back in, and these just pop out once at a time at the bottom. Okay, so that's what I think they're used for. I've not used them that way before, so I'm not going to demonstrate it now. But you get 3 of those, should the fancy take you. And finally you get this, and I haven't seen it sold separately, and it's really, really good. So it's it looks like sort of a dipped or press fitted sort of rubberized handle on it. It's quite nice, and a little plate to rest your thumb so you can exert a bit of pressure on here. And the idea is that you can use it to remove circlips from locks. Now, clearly I've got some circlips in here, and the idea is that you would use this tool to basically push these circlips off down here. But because this is cut or snapped off, I can show you exactly how this is supposed to work on this. Now, I've also got my, just going to move these core followers up here and bring in my pinning tray to catch anything that comes out. Now, bear in mind, this has already been picked. You can see it's upside down, and you can see the driver pins poking their way up into the core of the lock there. Now, you have to pick the lock if you don't have the key. If you have the key, it's easier because you can or put it in at any one point in time and turn the core and use the key even to pull the core out. If you don't have the key, then you have to pick it first, so a bit of a challenge for you, and then you can do the gutting. So the idea is you would put this notch here from this circlip or C-clip removal tool, there we go, and you use that notch as a fulcrum by exerting some pressure and pushing down using the point to try and remove that circlip, and it works surprisingly well once you get the knack of it. That is, if you know, it does take a little bit of going to get the knack of it, but you can see just simply how it just pushes that off, and then you can use the hook just to pull the circlip off and put it into your pinning tray down here. Got to be careful, of course, it's quite sharp, not to stab your thumb. There we go. So now we have a core which would slide out, but if I slide this out, because the core hasn't been turned 90 degrees, all these driver pins would fly out. So I'm just going to get a pick and turn this round 90 degrees like that. And bear in mind now that the pins are now this side, so don't follow it this way because they'll all drop out. Not so clever. If you really want, you can, because I might just turn that core the other way 90 degrees like that, so that the pins are at the top. It seems more comfortable to me, so I'm going to do that. Followers. Okay, so you have 2 types of follower for this type of lock, the hollow and the solid. The hollow follower would work as you'd expect by following the lock like that. Now, it's always good to keep the follower tight to the Bible so that you don't end up losing some of those springs. Now, if you see here down in this lock, you can automatically see that what's going to happen is there's a groove there that is going to completely mess up when I push that core out, because all of the pins and springs will come out of there. So just bear in mind that it needs to be a sort of a careful balance between keeping that lock picked and open, and that the body of the core itself there blocks the pins as they go through. So I'm just going to gently push this out, bearing in mind that I want to keep a nice tight fit, and I'm putting pressure on with this finger as well to make sure that I don't leave any gaps, and I'm hopefully do this nice and smoothly because I don't want to be embarrassed by doing a real hash job of it. There we go. I think we got there. I'm going to leave this here like that, and I'm just going to slide this into its holder, and that's what this does. So it keeps all there, and if you look down you can see all the key pins in there. If I just put in a pick, you should be able to see that I can move those key pins up to the shear line by picking, and that's what you're doing when you're picking the lock. There you go. So I've got the follower in there. I can then retract that follower back out and carefully move it back out of the lock until I expose the driver pins, and you can see there's a driver pin being exposed just there. Okay, so that's one way to get in. What I'm going to do is actually swap over my followers like this, and I'll show you a different way of getting at those driver pins, which I really like, and or at least show you how this pinning shoe works, because what you do is, of course, you keep that groove at the bottom of the lock like that, spring this down like that, and then you can slide that in. Then you can remove this whole follower, and you can see hopefully down there that I've retained all the pins in the Bible. Okay, so I've only got a few minutes left, and I don't need to demonstrate how to take pins out at the moment, but what I would say is that this pair of tweezers that you get isn't ideal. I've got some spare pins and things in this bag, and if I was going to take one of these pins out, you can see that you can grip them, but if you're trying to push them down, oh, drop one. I'm trying to push them down into a lock, because they're not rounded. This pin tends to be able to pivot quite freely like this. A lot of pinning tweezers that you see that you buy from professional locksmith sites are curved at the end, so you can actually grip round the pins to stop it from moving left and right. You imagine you're trying to get into a tight space and it keeps turning on you up like sideways. I mean, that is so frustrating. Other things about this kit are that, well, it's all really good value. If you get this for about £20, there's a lot of stuff in there to allow you to gut and clean and inspect and repin and repiece together, you know, Euro locks and oval cylinders and all sorts of other locks with removable cores. So I have to say that this HUK repinning kit is really good value, and I think for my money at least, I can't think of a better repinning kit for the price that's out there. I mean, you really get everything from the holders, the followers, the pinning shoes, and this really good C-clip or circlip removal tool. So yeah, go seek one out if you're interested in gutting your own locks. Go get one. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.